Mister, did you hear? It's time for the news. What? You mean that Bish Action News? Of course it is. I know it's that time. Why don't you just say that Bish Action News? Because YouTube doesn't allow you to curse in the first minute. Bish is not it's not a curse word. It's a term of endearment. Uh, oh, okay. Well, let's just watch. Warner Discovery shit show. Because let me tell you something. This whole saga is definitely not the fault of Warner Brothers because they wanted to release some bomb ass fucking content until they got bought out by Discovery after AT&T was like, fuck yeah, fuck you. We're giving you to Discovery. So yeah. Let's just go over the events first of this week. It's only been 3 days of pure fucking chaos. But if we start out with the news from Tuesday, Batgirl got canceled. It was around lunchtime on Tuesday. It was rumored that Batgirl was being shelved and would not release anywhere. Then a couple hours later, it was confirmed by Warner Discovery themselves that they are indeed shelving / murdering a movie that they spent $90 million on already because A, they didn't think it was good enough for a theatrical release, and B, they're hoping to do a tax write-down on it, which doesn't make much fucking sense because it would just be a tax write-off because basically from what I read up on the other day, a tax write-down is when you have inventory or a product such as a movie or mainly a TV show would fit this description better, but it's a tax write-down is when part of your inventory is damaged and you put it on the shelf, which may also explain why, which we'll go into next, why some other things started disappearing from HBO. So basically, what they're trying to do is recoup some money that they lost, and you can doing a tax write-down is an incremental process. So, within a couple of years, they'll recoup all that cost that they spent on Batgirl, instead of just throwing another $20 million at it to make it a theatrical movie. And maybe just spend a little bit less on advertising. Like a sane person would do. A company run by people whose biggest hit is diners, drive-ins, and dives and Shark Week. Definitely don't understand that, in my opinion. So anyways, it was confirmed that it got canceled. They put it on a shelf. It will never see the light of day. There are very few films to have done this. And usually the reason they do that is because they're so damn terrible. Like, the two I can think of are Roger Corman's Fantastic Four from the 70s, I think, which Marvel literally was like, Roger Corman, if you don't know, makes very low budget schlocky movies. I don't know if he's dead or not. He did, and that was in the heydays of the 70s, and that was probably his first foray into IP property. So anyways, Marvel sold them the rights to make that movie before Marvel was really struggling and they had to sell off everything pretty much. So they sold it, and then they saw what it was and they paid him to shelve it and get rid of it, never release it. Eventually, I think it did go the way of the Adrian Palicki Wonder Woman pilot, where it'll be on bootlegs at Comic-Cons. You'll probably be able to snag a copy. I bet I could look it up. I'm not going to do it right now because, yeah. Which is, would be the best possible option for Batgirl, even though they didn't finish the VFX apparently The big reason it sounds like that they canceled it was, or not the big reason. Another reason was it had a very low test score for its first ever test screening, but most of the VFX weren't finished. And usually when you do, I mean, movies go through more than one test screening. They go through a lot, and there's a lot of different cuts. One famous example is Snowpiercer, the Bong Joon-ho classic of a fucking movie. Uh, you know, his cut I mean, his cut, you've seen it. That's his cut, I think, essentially. Is it was very dark and stuff, and their great and powerful Harvey Weinstein uh, said, "Oh, it's too dark. American audiences aren't going to like this." So they had their own cut made, and it notoriously bombed at test screenings. Another one is like Noah, the Darren Aronofsky, Russell Crowe. Sorry, Russell's messed me up, but apparently they were just trying everything, and at one point they cut that movie down to 90 minutes and had a Christian rock song play through the credits. Is the rumor, but they ultimately went with the original cut of that one also. And one of the things I was reading was the first test screening of It scored the exact same score that Batgirl did, and that is one of the the past 5 years, one of the greatest horror movies of the past 5 years. Like, part two was pretty good, but like the first It was fucking amazing, and like all the performances from all those kids were fucking amazing. Um, Finn Wolfhard was in it. Uh, so what was the point? Oh, so and then that gets to pretty much the real reason that is speculated to be why it got canceled is they're trying to do a different version. Discovery wants to do a very different version of the uh, the DC universe, and it seems like they want to go and sort of continue a Zack Snyder esque, but probably a little bit funnier, a little bit lighter, but still have sort of that Snyder esque tone without Zack Snyder, of course, because I mean, people filmmakers are the last 3 to 4 years of Warner Brothers decisions are not really happy. Basically based on the AT&T merger, and I know Christopher Nolan had a very big deal with Warner Bros. And his new movie that he just is coming out. It's going to come out pretty much a year from now. I think was only solely made by Universal. Um, so stuff like that, like people are sort of jumping, like big creatives are jumping ship. J.J. Abrams has had an overall deal for a couple of years now, and has nothing to show for it. His show that he was making, like the one of the big things that he sold at the beginning with that deal was an HBO show that has since been canceled, and now they're doing. He's going to produce a Speed Racer TV show for Apple TV Plus, which is slowly becoming the like classic Warner Brothers pipeline. Like they own Ted Lasso, uh, and stuff, or they're the production company behind Ted Lasso. I don't know if they outright own it or not, but Warner Bros is the production company of Ted Lasso. And the past few seasons, people are like, why is it on HBO and stuff? And it's mainly that one of the ways they're able to stay above water is Apple is just dumping money on them. Um, but anyways, this is very shocking. Uh, but the big thing is Warner Bros. Now wants to focus on, especially DC movies like this. They want to focus that more onto big theatrical things, and they want to do an MCU thing. We'll talk about that later. No, that's not it. So let's see here. I gotta look this up. Pulled from HBO. Man. HBO Max has been taking stuff down without warning for weeks. Oh, this is okay. Breaking fucking news. Let's read into this. Let's see. Plot thickens as rumors swirl around HBO Max's impending merger. Impending. It already happened with Discovery. Oh, sorry, the two platforms. The streamer has removed some titles from its library. As we reported, not only are Max original movies being removed, but the HBO original series Vinyl, which had notoriously bad ratings and uh, before it even came out, like had a confirmed season 2 order, but the ratings were so bad that they fucking canceled that. Vinyl has been unnecessarily removed from the streamer. IndieWire reported that the long list of series and films will continue to be pulled, actually merge its two streaming services. Let's see here. A Reddit thread from a month ago noticed a handful of HBO Max's foreign shows like Amsterdam had also been quietly removed. The streamer's customer service Twitter account has corroborated information. I mean, the HBO has not had the best track record of adding and then also removing stuff. Was it the Food War dubs? Notoriously, we're releasing the dub version this time, and for season 4 they were off by 3 months, and then season 5 was like 9 months because it was basically they're like, oh, the Food War dubs season 4 is coming now, and then if you go back and check my Twitter, I got into an argument with them, and I had the screenshots to prove it, and they're like, no, that's not how it goes. Anyways, let's see here. So we have following shows and films have been selected from HBO Max's library. Amy, I think that just premiered. That's the Amy Winehouse documentary. Okay, doesn't matter. Amsterdam, I don't know what that is. An American Pickle, which was that Seth Rogen comedy where he plays his great grandfather, whatever the fuck, who got pickled and gets brought back to life. Charm City Kings, I'm not worried. I'm not familiar with. Check it out. Final Space, which is fucking weird because that's a really good show, and I thought it had some pretty good ratings. Full Bloom, Here Now, Locked Down, which is the whatchamacallit. It was that Anne Hathaway, Chiwetel Ejiofor, who's that? Steven Soderbergh, I want to say. Steven Soderbergh movie. Which, I mean, that they shot it during lockdown, first of all. In 2020, by the way. And it's about it's like a bank heist or a jewelry store heist movie. So yeah, that was a little iffy. Not only did they film it in the height of the lockdown and pandemic, it came out early 2021 when people were still, there's that option to go out, but most people were still just staying home. Moonshot, which is one of the more shocking ones, I think, because they really tried to advertise Moonshot a little bit more than they don't have it. They don't have it here, but Lockdown wasn't really advertised. Charm City Kings, which apparently was an HBO Max original movie. I'd never fucking heard of that. And then the list doesn't have it, but one called I think it was Central Intelligence, which was a Melissa McCarthy Bobby Cannavale movie, which ties back into Vinyl. And then we have the Catherine Hahn classic Mrs. Fletcher, which I think she's an erotic novel writer or some shit. And then The Witches, which was the big launch movie that they had when HBO Max launched, with Anne Hathaway, which was Robert Zemeckis directed it. So now HBO shows such as Mrs. Fletcher and Vinyl are available on HBO On Demand for cable users, as well as VOD platforms. That's weird. You can still watch Vinyl and Mrs. Fletcher. You just have to have a cable subscription for it, or an HBO Go subscription. I think HBO Go is still around too. That is the most fucking shocking. Like, if it's still like available for that, and then like like HBO eventually like because HBO was like the first one to do the you know fully online like the show premieres at 7. It's gonna be on like check HBO at 7:01 to watch it, even though it would probably show up at 7, but it's traffic. So it like it premieres at the same time it does on HBO, which is weird. Um, yeah, like that's like especially the fact that you can still like go and find it on their other HBO platforms really makes you think that they're not going to continue with the HBO brand, which is a very dumb decision unless they call it the Warner Bros. Streaming app or Warner Plus or Warner Max. Like that is the only thing that has uh like that is the only brand that they own. Uh or name brand that is more recognizable than HBO is the fucking Warner Bros. Water Tower logo. Um so yeah, that's weird. Yeah, and then of course the other uh casualty was Scoob Holiday Haunt, which was going to come out during Christmas. Uh of course I don't really give a shit cuz I didn't watch the new Scooby Doo thing, and I kind of don't really want to. The James Gunn Scooby Doo is all I need. Oh, super intelligence is what it said. Let's see here. Has been pulled at least 6 films. Were strictly pulled from HBO Max, which were like that was the thing was they very early on when they launched it were like we're gonna have exclusive movies, and now it seems like they're trying to go away from that, even though that's kind of like a good thing to have because why the fuck would I get HBO Max when I could just get HBO Go and still watch The Batman? I have no idea if you have HBO Go if you can watch The Batman, but I mean it's on HBO. Like they're doing the 46-day or 45-day after theatrical premiere on HBO Max and HBO. Like yeah. So we have Doug Lyman. Never mind. I thought it was Steven Soderbergh, but I bet he would have freaked the fuck out. Let's see here. The movies are okay. Without the company mentioning it, it is in its monthly reports of films. Mentioning it in its monthly reports of films leaving, and usually it's either the middle of the month or the end of the month. And this was the second day of the month, is when those left, the movies, and then the TV shows left today. Um, let's see, we had the 6 films in question are Moonshot, The Witches, uh, Anne Hathaway, The Witches, Octavia Spencer, and Seth Rogen's An American Pickle. Okay, they're Super Intelligent with Melissa McCarthy, Doug Lyman's COVID flick, Locked Down. Also with Anne Hathaway. What's Warner Bros. Beef here? Just kidding, maybe. Enough messing around. Borges is the king we don't deserve. Let's see here. Getting and lastly, director Angel Manuel Soto's Charm City Kings. Meanwhile, uh, LeBron James's reboot of House Party was scheduled to be released on July 28th, and now has been removed entirely from the calendars. Me vibing to news and eating salad. Are you eating kale salad? Um, yeah, it's not commented on the situation, nor did they really comment on it. Doing that, but from what it seems like is, uh, besides the 2 HBO shows that are on here, or well, besides the shows that premiered somewhere else, it definitely seems like they're trying to pull like the less popular things to get that tax write down off of it. Uh, maybe to flood the IRA with these things because, well, no taco salad. Oh, munching on some. taco salad. Um, to sort of mask the fact that they want to get a tax write down on Batgirl, or a tax write off too, essentially. Which, if you work for the IRS and you're watching this, fucking please audit the shit out of Discovery. Like, like how are you gonna get a tax write down / write off on that? Like, I mean, there's like, I would understand if like there's an insurance thing where, because a lot of movies, like if you don't finish filming, or in this case they didn't finish post production, uh, you get lots of tax write offs. I mean, like, why else are they removing things from this website, like, or from their streaming things, if they're the sole rights owners, unless they sold the rights to someone else, and we're gonna see it on like fucking Stars or some bullshit. Uh, I mean, the funniest thing would be if it just shows up on Discovery Plus, that thing that nobody fucking watches except a bunch of people actually do, because they have a pretty. I mean, they don't have HBO Max numbers, but they have like, like 10 to 20 million. Like, the numbers came out today. I'll look into that later. But essentially, they're just pulling stuff down, and it seems like they're trying to get tax write offs and shit on it. Let's see here. That's not what I wanted. So anyway, fast forward to, like, all that stuff was happening yesterday and today, and fast forward to today, where a bunch of people, and me including, were just waiting for this earnings call that they're doing, which is like, this is when they you know uh usually it used to be a phone call where the CEO and stuff would tell anyone who's a shareholder, like, you could call in and stuff. If you owned a single share in Warner's, you could see what they were doing. And I think Disney was the one who started that, where they started doing the video releases, and like, that's how we were getting the announcements of uh what was it, 2020, when they announced like Doctor Strange and all that stuff. Like, when there's no Comic-Con and stuff, they did an earnings call to announce that. That's where Encanto was announced and shit. Um, so like, it's a visual, it's like a PowerPoint presentation essentially. But so they did that, and they gave out some really fucking weird infographics. Like, this is really fucking weird that this is Discovery's like understanding of how the two companies are connected, especially with the streaming thing. Like, HBO male skew, it's skewed towards males. Hey, hey, thank you for that sweet Prime subscription. Another fucking thing that's on HBO Max that if they just stick the course and do shit like Birds of Prey, I mean, they'll eventually have like a very cool catalog of DC properties. But that's for later in the news show, is when I give my opinion. Even though I've been slowly giving my opinion this whole time. Uh, hey, if the Quarter Pounder can do it, I can fucking do it too. Um, yeah, if he can go around talking shit about Zombie and other people for using their connections to get free shit, like because it's good for representation, and white people are mad about that. I can use my platform to talk shit about capitalistic companies that don't know what the fuck their own brand is. Anyways, so HBO Max male skew, which is, I mean, that's not true. They have Sex in the City. Like, come the fuck on. That's just the first plot hole. I mean, Harley Quinn is another like show that like is more geared towards feminist people. True. Beep beep. Here's Amazon's Monies. Yo, fucking like, can we talk about Amazon's monies right now? Here. Jeff Bezos, I implore you, please, please give Discovery the 90 million to cover their production costs, plus whatever extra they need to make Batgirl go theatrical. Because I want to see fucking Batgirl. I can't tell you how excited and how sad I was to hear that it was canceled. Like Brendan Fraser as Firefly. What the are you like? I'll show a clip later. It looked fucking bonkers. And then Michael Keaton as Batman. J.K. Simmons as fucking Commissioner Gordon. Like what the fuck? Isn't Brendan Fraser? No. The dude from The Mummy? The lead in The Mummy? He's not dead. The show Frasier is gone. Kelsey Grammer is still alive. Yeah. The yeah. This dude. Brent Brendan Fraser. George of the Jungle. If you remember. Wait, they don't have. Where the fuck is the image at? This is some great special effects makeup. He is a sock. What? This is some very impressive makeup. This is I think it's a Darren Aronofsky movie. You know, A24 is making the way. Oh fuck yes, A24. Come on. As you can see, he has gained a little weight. You know, as people get older, they gain weight. That's what it is. He doesn't look like George of the Jungle, but he is still a cool robot-looking motherfucker in Doom Patrol, which you know is a Doom Patrol is so fucking good. It's so fucking gay and so fucking good. Anyways, yeah, Doom Patrol. Oh shit, we got to go back to that infographic. I'm not done yet. Male skewed scripted versus unscripted, which is okay. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. HBO Max's big draw is their scripted content, like Peacemaker, Succession. I was like, who is Kendall Roy? You know, shit like that, like classic HBO stuff, and then HBO Max has made some great content on their own, like Hacks and Peacemaker, and you know, there's going to be another James Gunn DC show coming up. Those seem to be contrary to popular belief, where it seemed like they were just going completely unscripted, which would have been a huge mistake. It seems like those things are gonna stay, which thank God, because some of the shows on HBO Max, like I have not watched Hacks season 2 like I should have, like the dumbass I am. But anyways, so we have that. Let's see, Lean In, which is like engaging, which means just super engaging content. Yes, HBO Max. Lean Back. I mean, you know, like some of that HGTV shit and like the Food Network is very compelling. I don't know why it's just Lean Back. Appointment viewing. I mean, you know, tonight we have what is it? Like on Hulu, which should be up right now, is Prey is out. I'm really excited. I love Amber Midthunder from what is it? Legion. She's great. So I'm looking forward to that. But also I think Harley Quinn, like the next episode or 5 of Harley Quinn comes out. I think they did 3 the first time. You know, like that's the one thing about HBO Max is their originals have such a weird fucking schedule. Like some shows will have like 7 appear at once and then go 3 at a time, or you know 2 Like they never do like a one episode premiere, I think, of all the shows I watched on there. But sometimes like Our Flag Means Death had like a 3 episode premiere and like 2 episodes per week after that, except for the final week, which was one. Um, but yeah. So that, and then Home of Fandoms. Okay, cool. Like DC, uh, Adult Swim, Rick and Morty fandom. Hold on. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Home of Genredoms. Like, what the fuck does that word even mean? They're just like, oh, we got to put some doms at the end. You could have said homedom, you know, anything. So it's just really fucked up because, like, there's plenty of femme facing content on HBO Max, and like you have like the fucking property. Okay, it's time. It's time for that infographic. Uh, so like Fixer Upper, Property Brothers, like a bunch of these house shit, HGTV and like, you know, Food Network, Shark Week. Shark Week is not a very feminine facing program. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Um, so like, and then iconic series and characters. Sex and the City is not a Discovery original; it's an HBO original. The fuck. So yeah, here we go. We're talking about they're talking about brands here in this and franchises and then iconic series, and then you know the bottom is the international stuff that they own, which I don't fucking give a shit about because I live in America. Right. But how many other Wymans love sharks? It's obviously a femme thing. If you love it, okay, I see. I see what you mean. So yeah, their brands, like, what do they list first? HBO, the biggest brand besides Warner Bros. Discovery, disagree. CNN, bigger than Discovery, for fucking sure. HGTV, bigger than Discovery, for fucking sure. Cartoon Network, DC, Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes, I'll concede, is maybe a little bit less. What do they not have on there? Food Network. Food Network is probably one of the bigger brands. It's probably right behind CNN as a big brand and is tied with HGTV as a big fucking brand they have. So and then they talk about franchises, which they do the of course the DC Trinity for some reason. Could have just put a fucking DC there. People know what DC is. Shark Week with a tiny Discovery. Game of Thrones arguably is a big franchise, and they're doing that. Food Network slaps. It's fucking great. Look, but did you know it was owned by Discovery? Because you know how I found out? They were advertising Discovery Plus. That's the only way I found out. But then we have the 90 Day Fiance universe. I guess there's more than one fucking show of 90 Day Fiance, and not just like a weird recap or Where Are They Now show. And then we got the transphobic world of Harry Potter. Yeah. Just as a quick side note, I fucking actually I bought this at a GameStop, which is like a little. I have it on my bed. Like it has a portable charger right here. Curse you, Discovery. It has a cup holder. This is for this thing is for snacks. It's currently empty because I ate all the fucking candy. And this is like a place where you can store whatever you want. There's a little lip for your phone. I currently store like sometimes I'll put my remote there if I want it to be away, but for the most part, it's like where all these cords go that are currently out because I'm a lazy piece of shit. Wait, what? 90 Day Fiance universe? I don't you so Lorelai. Lorelai, look me in the eye. Lorelai, look me in the eye. Do you watch 90 Day Fiance? Do you know anybody who watches 90 Day Fiance? Because I know it's big, but I don't know anybody who actually watches that shit. You love it? Okay. So I do know somebody now. We've never talked about it because I just don't give a shit about it. We'll have to do like a Discord watch party one day to watch it. Anyways, apparently there's more than one show. God no. You gotta show me like you You gotta show me the good shit, like a good couple episodes. You gotta show me that good. Um, but yeah. So there's that, and then of course iconic characters, Friends. You know, notoriously Netflix, like when they were in, you know, before HBO Max was a thing, the contract with Friends for Netflix expired. Wait, no, I don't want to watch it. Well, the chat is lagging. Wait, no, I don't watch it. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. So what was the oh fuck? Yes, I love that. What was that too? What was that for? Sorry, I thought it was in regards to 90 Day Fiance. So again, I know nobody who fucking watches that show. Like somebody who does watch it has to like sit me down and show me like the best parts because I like I don't know, it's like immigration scam the show to me is what it sounds like. Which is, you know, like I'm all for like scamming the government to to get immigration to get your green card. Food Network. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I watch the Food Network constantly, like Chopped, fucking even Triple D. Like that's the one thing I am excited about is getting those Food Network shows because like I didn't realize this, but like I would watch shows like that. I'd watch Chopped and stuff. It wasn't until I started watching Food Wars and then I went back and started watching those things. Like, this is like Food Wars in real life, and like now all I want to do is make a Food Wars type show, uh, that is like is half scripted, half like yeah, it's fucking top tier. Like there are times like I think I've watched a couple episodes on stream. Not gonna lie, because I saw other streamers did it do it. But like yeah, like do like a scripted food or a Food Wars type show where it's like a culinary college because it's gonna be a little horny like Food Wars is. Uh, but like do that and then have like all the food competitions be like shot like a food. Can I be the orgasm over food extra? Yeah, you could be the one that's like, "Ah!" um, and then the camera goes, but like, and then shoot it exactly like a Food Network show when they do the Food Wars or the challenges like that, and you know rewrite the fucking ending. Yeah, because you know the fifth season existed for some reason, and it was like I get the idea. It's pretty funny. Like there's an underground food. There's underground chefs that cook exotic food, which is like, you know, a thing that happens and like other shows have kind of done it where they've had like people who sell tiger meat and shit like that, like emu, like iguana and stuff like that, like exotic rare meats. Um like there are places like that. Anyways, so iconic series and characters, Friends, of course. The big debacle was there was a year the contract ended for Friends and Netflix ended a year before HBO Max would come out, so they extended that contract by another year by Netflix paying $100 million to get it, which of course, you know, for the company that hemorrhages money constantly, was a good thing. Fixer Upper, Welcome Home. Don't know what the fuck that is. The Big Bang Theory, like just pure garbage. I get why they feel it's iconic because you know that like people who could have cooked up my chameleon been exotic. Oh yeah, I mean just cut away the chewed up bits like I do when my mom doesn't finish her steak. Like I literally cut like this is gonna be very bad, especially for what happened to your chameleon. But like I cut off the part that my mom ate, give it to Shane. That's so fucking insensitive. I'm so sorry. Yeah, The Big Bang Theory, which is like people who saw Iron Man in the theater once, uh, were like, "That's nerd shit. I'm a nerd now," and then fucking love that. Kaylee Cuoco, great fucking actress. She's Harley Quinn in the animated Harley Quinn, and the first season, The Flight Attendant, was really good. Haven't seen the second season. Property Brothers. I Ote wanted to eat him so bad. Nah, you good? Okay, thanks. Property Brothers, you know the brothers who fix houses and fuck each other off camera. No, they don't do that. I just think it's funny if they fucked each other. I can joke about it now. I've moved on. I can joke about it now. Diners, drive-ins, and dives. Fucking iconic. Guy Fieri, fucking iconic. Fucking, we stand that king. I can joke about it now. And then Sex and the City. Yeah, it's one of the most successful HBO properties. Besides not besides the Sopranos. Like it is like the Sopranos. It's probably a little bit like they've had more. It's had more of a like length afterwards because the Sopranos happened. The ending was controversial. Like 5 years later, James Gandolfini died or something like that. So it's sort of like, and then they tried to continue it, and it was bad. Even though they gave David Chase, who was like 90,000 years old, a fucking 5-picture deal before that thing came out, and everyone was so excited because like everybody when the Sopranos, the new Sopranos prequel came out, were like so excited, like, oh my god, more Sopranos! The guy who created it is fucking working on it. Except they hired a garbage director. Guy Fieri is an icon, exactly. I mean, he directed Sopranos episodes and Game of Thrones episodes. He directed some of the greatest Game of Thrones episodes that people love, but he also directed Thor: The Dark World. Let's not forget. And now the Many Saints of Newark, which is, thank God it was released on HBO Max. It was kind of, it was not well received by critics and fans alike. Dang shit. So yeah, like Discovery. I mean, and I'll say it again. Like I released this on TikTok and Twitter. Fucking like Discovery's like business model in the mid 2000s was like, sure they'd produce their own stuff, but like you could pay them $30,000 an episode and put your own like reality TV show shit on there as long as it was in line with sort of what they wanted. Like that like that's unheard of for a big production company. I don't think they do that now anymore because they had enough money to buy HBO, or I mean Warner. Not even HBO, all of Warner Bros. All of Warner Media. Like there are a lot of things underneath the Warner Media umbrella that got sold and got spun out and then sold. And AT&T still like somehow AT&T, and I don't know if this is the case anymore because of how things were going. I bet they had to sell some shares, but it was like rumored that they still own 51% of Warner Discovery. Like they still have a controlling interest. And who would have thought that the giant telecom monopoly was a better parent company than Discovery? Because yeah, now we're going through a whole fucking debacle about this. So anyways, we have there was yeah, and I'm not even going to talk about the bullshit that is HP and like forcing me to maybe want to watch one of those new shitty ones because I am learning so much. Hey, stick with me, kid. You'll learn a lot. Because they put Mad Mickelson in the fucking newest one. I will admit, I watched like the first 5 minutes. There was a great scene at the beginning with Jude Law and Mads Mikkelsen, and then I was just like, and then and then the terror that is Ezra Miller showed up, and I was like, no, which is hilarious because for those of you that don't know, or I mean Lorelai, like Ezra Miller is a non-binary actor and has been in those Harry Potter prequels since the beginning. And like, you know, that's fucking kind of fucked up or really fucked up. But they're also fucking terrorizing yeah, they are fucking terrorizing the whole United States apparently, from Vermont to Hawaii. Yeah, so basically that's like all we learned, pretty much we learned, or not all we learned. Like there's so much more shit that they did that they announced. You know, people were afraid that they were going to get rid of scripted content. It looks like they're like, no, we really want to go all in on scripted content for HBO, which is or HBO Max, which is great because some of the best shows of the last 2 years have been HBO Max exclusive, not just HBO Max. Um, like Our Flag Means Death. Now Harley Quinn is an HBO Max original, which it was a decent like. Yeah, it like they're like because of the rush for all these streaming apps. Like for some reason, Warner before like no, it was under AT&T. Like AT&T thought it was a cool idea to make a exclusive DC streaming app for DC shows, and like all those shows got moved over to HBO Max and have had a full now or have a full season under HBO Max, except for Swamp Thing, which the only reason that show got canceled was because they canceled the tax breaks. They were like, we're not moving fucking states to shoot this show. So yeah, that show got canceled because of tax breaks, not because of viewership or anything, because they knew that this niche app was not it, and eventually closed it down. Same thing with when Disney bought Fox. Like Fox and FX all had separate apps, while also having all of Fox's stuff go onto Hulu, which Fox owned a 40% stake in, and so did Disney, and then I think NBC or someone else owned like a 20 to 10% and other stuff. And then when that merged, Disney owned 80% and bought out NBC, who went on to do their own, I'm guessing mildly successful streaming thing. Like you haven't heard anything like bad, like they're shutting it down, but like I haven't heard anything good about it. But that's the other thing is HBO or Discovery is taking their model, which is like for those who don't know, the NBC Universal streaming app is Peacock, and they have like different tiers, like what Discovery wants to do, which is a free tier that's has heavy ads and you can only watch a select few things. Then there's the what HBO Max has now, which is an ad supported plan, which is like half price. So you watch something, you have ads, like, but you can like they launched that in like the middle of last year, but you couldn't watch the theatrical releases like Godzilla versus Kong and The Matrix and Dune. Dune, my probably favorite movie of last year, if I think about it. Um, so yeah, we had that. Yeah, so that's happening. The big DC news and why they canceled Batgirl is they're trying to come up with a new plan for the DC universe. They call it a 10-year plan akin to Marvel, which yeah, that was like they had. Well, Marvel really had. It was essentially, which was the first Infinity Saga, which ended with Endgame and that not great Spider-Man movie. What was it? Yeah, that was technically it was sort of like a 12-year arc for the company, 11-year arc on screen, because it started in '08 and ended in 2019. So basically, that's what they want to do. Um, they had like it was kind of rushed the first time when they did they did Superman to Batman v Superman to Justice League. That was kind of rushed, but it was really interesting, and like that's one of the things I hate is like they're like people are like like that's like the industry standard and stuff now for franchises and shit, but it's just like DC is such a different ball game than Marvel, and like they could really shine if they come up with a different plan. Uh, like DC could really shine if they start with a Justice League movie and like introduce the characters there and then plot them out to like sort of what Zack Snyder originally being gotta go to bed, snuggle, popo. Popo. Okay. Have a good night. I'll see you later. I'm about to wrap it up anyways. This has gone on a little too long. Uh, but yeah, like the DC universe, like it could thrive. Like I get that that's like a new 52 thing. Oh, ad starts in 3 minutes for those who aren't subscribed. Uh, so, anyways, they like they could really thrive if they sort of do like a new 52 model, which the animated thing did. If they if they thought it out and did it better, it was just like the new 52 started with the first Justice League comic, and then because it was a consolidating of all their stuff, and they only had 52 like series going, and like three of those were Superman, two of those were Batman. They had Batman and Detective Comics, and like those Detective and Batman comics were wildly different from each other because they had different writers and and I only know about the Batman stuff because that was the one thing like I got into when the new 52 happened. Like I didn't even I think I have the first issue of Justice League, but it's like the third printing. Um but like the first issue of Batman of the new 52 has the entire Bat family, including Damian Wayne, which was a creation that happened in, like 2005 or something. So it was very fucking weird. Like there was five, like there was three Robins, all with different, like Red Robin and, like I think Jason Todd was probably there too. Like stuff like that. And then, uh-oh, what just unplugged and plugged back in? Hello? Company I work for? Are you spying on me? I'm not going over your corporate structure. I think your corporate structure is fine. Uh, shout out to people I work for. Not going to reveal the company name. Uh, anyways, yeah. So like that structure could work out if they did a little bit something than just oh shit, Darkseid's here, and like all the Justice League members happen to be investigating it at the same time. Oh no. There's that, and like right now they're doing reshoots on Aquaman and bringing back Ben Affleck for some reason, even though everybody fucking hates him for some reason. Like I enjoy him, but like I enjoyed him in Batman v Superman because that was a great Dark Knight Returns adaptation. Other than that, like I loved the Snyder cut of the Justice League, but like my god, releasing that shit in theaters would have been a hell of a mess. Um, and I am happy that it and I think I said this on Tuesday. I'm happy that it's over because like Army of the Dead is fucking trash. Uh, it's just like Zack Snyder's sort of understanding of Batman is one that I really like, and like only having such an understanding of Batman that way would you come to this conclusion, and it's fucking metal. Where and even like Matt Reeves has a way better understanding than Zack Snyder, Nolan, like anybody who has made a Batman movie with the exception of probably Bruce Timm. uh but that's a whole different ball game, and you know like the Bruce Timm animated series like has defined Batman for generations now. He Him and Paul Dini are responsible for creating Harley Quinn, like probably the greatest DC anti-hero at the moment. Um, so yeah, we have that, and if they continue to like one of the movies that's was supposed to be straight to HBO Max, and I wonder if they're going to rework it into a actual feature, was a Black Canary movie, which Black Canary from like is going to be Journey Smollett from Birds of Prey is going to play Black Canary, and Misha Green. Yeah, Misha Green. Who did Lovecraft Country. And I talked about this on Tuesday. But Misha Green, who did Lovecraft Country, is set to write and direct. Coming off the heels of the canceled Tomb Raider sequel that she was going to write and direct. That's, as an interesting aside, it has nothing to do with all this, but MGM lost the rights to Tomb Raider because they took too long to make that sequel. And the first one was fine, or the first reboot with because it was going to be Alicia Vikander. Uh, was fine. Walton Goggins like brought life to this because it was based on the reboot, the Crystal Dynamics reboot, that trilogy that just happened, and like they very like hyped up that sort of dark shadow organization that's really not that apparent in the first one. I think there's some reference to it, but is a big thing in the second and third ones, which I haven't played, but you know, I know from the trailers and footage I've seen there that shadow organization is kind of a big thing. Um, but they, yeah, that shit has lapsed from MGM. We'll see if Prime if Amazon gets that license back, or if it's just gonna like it's probably gonna be between Amazon and Netflix, because Netflix is doing an animated Tomb Raider with Haley Atwell, I'm pretty sure, as Laura Croft. Um, anyways, what I was gonna say about Tomb Raider was it was an okay one. The video game has a very big supernatural element. Uh, the the reboot is very much following the story of that first reboot video game, but they explain sort of the supernatural elements of the villain and the tomb that they were raiding. Has a very like real world type thing to it, and you know, there's a little different twist in it and stuff, and you know, the main villain is wildly different. So much so that like when I was talking with a friend, he who was like, "Yeah, that bad guy like really sucked," and I was like, "Walton Goggins was really good," and I was like, "You played this guy named this," and my friend was like, "Wow, really? That guy sucked in that in the video game." And like when I replayed it again, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's it," because I replayed it after I saw the movie. I was like, "Oh, it is the same villain. He's not memorable at all." Um, God, I could talk for probably another 2 hours on it. But let's see here. I went over DC. They're gonna have a big thing for that. You know, we'll see if they bring back Snyder or not, because it is very heavily, you know, because they're doing reshoots with Ben Affleck for Aquaman, which may or may not come out in March. We'll see, because you know, after Batgirl's canceled, and then of course we have Blue Beetle, which was going to be an HBO Max one that they also started shooting. I don't know if they're done shooting it right now, but they started shooting it. There are set photos and shit. You know, like fortunately slash unfortunately, because if they do cancel Black Canary, that's going to be real sad. But fortunately, like they're still in pre-production on that. So it's not like a big loss. Whereas like with Blue Beetle and Batgirl, if they do end up canceling Blue Beetle, instead of turning it into a theatrical thing, which I think they might actually try and do, which is very shitty. Uh, anyways, oh yeah, I was gonna show the clip that made me really be like, oh no, why is this canceled? Um, and it's a clip of Brendan Fraser being a badass villain. I guess there's sound in it. I didn't watch it with sound on, I guess. But yeah, that's Brendan Fraser walking out of a burning building. It's fucking hot. God, so like still like walking out of frame, not on camera, still in character. And you know, like method acting sometimes is a little bad, but like, you know, doing something like that where it's like not breaking character until they call cut is fucking like that intense look. Like let's go back to it. Like he has this very intense look. Like he would have been a fucking great villain to watch. I'm sure that take is unusable. Although maybe not, because it looks like He was about to hit the can, like what you do when you're walking someone who's too close to you in the hallway. But yeah, like look at that intensity. Look at it. God damn. Excuse me, sorry. That was gonna be fucking impressive. I know it was. That Bush news. Is that what I said? That Bush news. Oops. Yeah, I said that 2 hours ago. Um, I'm gonna have to edit this after work tomorrow, unfortunately. If I do edit it at all, I'm definitely gonna, because it's over an hour and it's just me rambling about everything I know about not only that, but like I have like insider information about Discovery because I worked like, and again, I did not sign an NDA. Like these, like I worked on two indie projects, definitely. I was gonna say two very big projects, but they were not big at all. Like one of them was a fucking glorified student film that cost millions of dollars, apparently, of this dude's own money. He was the writer, director, and lead actor. So it was his, like it read like the first script someone had ever written. It was a little weird, and like the scenes we were shooting were not great. And because I didn't read the whole script when I signed on, because it was my friend was like, I really need help with this, and you'll get paid if you come here. And I was like, okay. And then the pay was very low, and I tried to get higher pay, uh, but that didn't work out. And I was like, okay, well, at least they'll treat us like human beings when I'm on set, and I'll have fun with friends, and like I met some cool people there who were who like you know if I ever needed something, I'm sure would try and like I would get like have would love to have as some grips and stuff. The DP was not great. I'm just gonna say that now. He kept asking our department to do shit that his department should have done because he had like 5 or 6 people. We had uh 3 people, and we had to steal all the PAs, which were two. And one of them had and they weren't getting paid. And one of them was like, I have a headache. I'm like, go the fuck home. Like, you're not getting paid. You have a headache. Go home and sleep. Um, yeah. And so at one point, I just, like, after, there were certain times, and I just stopped working and left 3 days in because they made it clear that they were not going to treat us as human. And I was not getting paid enough. And I was also on unemployment at the time, and I would have had to have, lied about unemployment for that week. And I was like the 2 weeks, I was like, I was fine. Like, you know, I'll make more on unemployment if I stay on it. Um, but like to say I got a gig for 2 weeks, I think doesn't go like if I don't take the check for those 2 weeks, I think that's fine. I didn't get a full time job. I just got a gig. Uh, but anyways, so yeah, but anyways, the main thing is I worked on a pilot for a company, a production company that's in the state I live in, Colorado. That doesn't exist anymore, by the way. But I didn't have to sign an NDA for that because I didn't get paid at all. I just was doing a friend a favor, and it was fun. And like everybody who worked on that set, I knew, was friends with. We did some fucking crazy shit. It was awesome. And it was like in the middle of the pandemic. Like it was in the middle of the pandemic, and I say I didn't get paid. I got unemployment, so like it's not like I wasn't getting money at that time. It's just like getting unemployment would have been miles above what anything they could have paid me, and I got free food and drinks for a weekend, so that was fun. But anyways, yeah, when I was working on this pilot, it was a reboot of a a show that aired on Discovery. I shouldn't say Discovery show because they don't own the rights. Nobody owns the rights now because the company that the dude who like the rights went back to him because they didn't like because he paid the $30,000 per episode, and after the 8 episode run that he paid for, Discovery was like, this is garbage. Um, and and one of the big things was we were going to try and sell to Discovery, and this was before the merger. I think it was like right around the time they announced it too, which was weird. um, which I could have got a credit on HBO Max, which would have been hilarious, and I could go around and say, "Hey, I got a second unit director and art director credit on HBO Max, baby." And I still put that shit on my resume too, like that I was an art director and a second unit director. Because I started out as the art director because there's no art department, but my friend who is the director, he's one of his big things is he's an art director. So like, and all the art was like, and like I came on a week before we started shooting as the art director, and all the art was stuff we found around each location, and it was about cars, so that was a lot of stuff we went to. I don't remember the name of it. I would totally dox this fucking custom car shop if I remember the name of it, but they were big Trump supporters, and they I think I said this I said it somewhere where they they were talking about like how woke Denver is because we got the the All-Star game, the baseball All-Star game because of the heartbeat law in Atlanta, which is, if you didn't know, was a precursor to, of course, Roe v. Wade getting overturned, and was like, if there's a like the fetus has a heartbeat at like 6 weeks or some made up bullshit like that. Um, so you can't, like, if you're 6 weeks in a day pregnant, you can't get it aborted in that state. And Texas has the same thing. Like, it is a very conservative thing, and was a way to get around Roe v. Wade until now, which you don't even have to fucking get around it. You can just say it's illegal. But anyways, yeah, they were all talking about how woke Denver is, and like, all the slur for intersex people are around, like that Jamie Lee Curtis. And like I literally like looked back and gave the guy the side eye, and then he was talking to everyone. I was like, oh, you're probably not allowed to say that. I was like, dude, you're talking to people who work in film. We're liberals. Fuck. I mean, most film people are liberal. I mean, there are those of us who work in film who are very leftist and almost borderline anarchist at this point. Um, but what was my point? Oh, yeah, I was talking about my insider knowledge. Yeah, so that's where I learned how you could get shit on Discovery. I don't think it's that way anymore since they own Warner Brothers and they're doing their streaming thing, and they've solidified their thing. But this is back when all they had was fucking Shark Week. But anyways, yeah. So like, yeah, these are my takes, and like, I was wrong about Batgirl because I thought Ezra Miller was in it, and that's why they sort of shelved it. But it sounds like, and this was straight from the CEO's mouth, he's excited about the Flash movie, which is funny because they'll cancel a fucking uh, movie that has great uh, femme representation in Batgirl, a girl or a woman rather, kicking tons of ass, riding a motorcycle, has the first, trans actor to appear in a, uh, you know what? I'll say it, a major motion picture superhero movie. I was like, because the CW had an actual trans superhero, and like not to downplay, like, don't take that out of context. What I mean is, I don't think the trans actor in Batgirl was going to be a superhero. I could be wrong. I don't know the character. All I know is that she is friends with Batgirl, like what I read, which is she is like in the comic, she's a friend of Batgirl. Um, but anyways, and then it was going to have another chance for Michael Keaton to come back as Batman because he had already shot the Flash and came back, and like that's one of the other things is like they should have fucking just delayed it, you know, maybe thrown another $20 million into it to make it a little bit theatrical. Done a lot more test screenings, see if they could get that 60 to an 80 at the very least. Um, like 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 Brendan Fraser, who is a very phenomenal actor, has been for a long time. Had some uh, unfortunate things happen to him, after like Mummy and George of the Jungle. And I don't really remember what that was, so I'm not gonna talk on that stuff. But made a comeback with that FX series about the Gettys, which also came out around the time as that Kevin Spacey Getty movie. Uh, Ridley Scott, and who they had to. I mean, his role was so nominal in that they could shoot for 4 straight days with just Christopher Plummer to replace him. That's funny, and it also was like they wanted Christopher Plummer from the start. They just like, what if we got a big name, and like if you remember the trailers, he had makeup on and like all this weird stuff. Like it was going to be a very weird thing, and then of course it came out that he had assaulted a minor. The I think it's the dude from Star Trek Discovery, right, who is fucking amazing as the that engineer who travels the thing. Not to spoil Discovery. Anyway, he's great in it. They have very good queer non-binary representation in that show, especially a very good trans representation too. Um, that was one of the things that I was like, oh, they actually let this happen, where it was the dude who played Lev, and I guess rather the person, because I think they're also non-binary essentially. They go by they he. Um, Hold on one second. Okay, I don't hear anything. They like like in the show, like they talk about being trans in the show, which was like a very awesome thing that I thought was good, which was kind of unexpected, because even though I know they were a trans actor from Last of Us Part Two, it's their name is Ian something. I forget their last name. Uh, but yeah, like Star Trek doing very very good representation. Then also Orville now doing good representation for sort of fixing their trans slash intersex storyline that was more about how like, and like somebody had to like literally tell me this, because I was kind of angry in like the episode that this happened at, where they forced a sex change on an infant because of the culture that this alien is from. It's very like a very dicey episode. It has really great moments, really great feminist moments, which it was more of a feminine piece, or a feminist piece about women's rights on a show that's or on a show on a planet that's so deep in its own toxic masculinity that they literally just went gay. Like like that's the end goal of toxic masculinity, is just to fuck each other. And then they found a way, like I think it's based on their biology. Like they didn't really need uh women to produce, because they like have eggs, and I don't know how the eggs appear. It's not very clear how this alien species reproduce, but it is very enveloped in toxic masculinity, and then you know also forcing gender conforming surgery on people, and like there's some great moments from it, and of course they call back to, in this season, they try to course correct it, or they do course correct it, and they bring back some of the good moments from that episode as proof to be like, I mean, we tried to save you, um, but Seth MacFarlane was just like, no, at the end of the day it has to be. I'm not gonna put words in his mouth, but yeah, it was very interesting. And then sort of by the end of those, because there's 2 episodes with that character, um, that are really good this season. Probably one of my favorites. That season 8, episode 8 of the season was really good. Also, the time travel episode, like the latter half of that season, was fucking excellent. The finale was great. It was a very much needed break, and like a great way uh, to do a season slash series finale when your renewal is uncertain, because Apparently, they worked on that show for like 2 or 3 years, like very heavily because it was. I think the last one was 2019 was when they ended because it was the third season. It started in 2017. I think it ended in 2019 or 18. Um, but yeah, and then the pandemic happened, so they had to pivot for that, and throwing it up on Hulu, giving it a better budget, and it's going to be on Disney Plus. Sorry, I'm just like that was like what I did last night instead of this. Was I hung out with a bunch of fans of the Orville show, talked with some of the crew who was involved in that, and that was very fun. Uh, it's very fun. It's always fun to like hang out with fans and like even though I have that weird introverted personality, where I'm in a group of people who I don't know. Uh, like I don't talk very much, but it was very fun and very nice to see people's fandom and like discussions of the last two episodes, especially like there's a certain character. There's a certain character that shows up or that is introduced this season that was kind of terrible and not like written like I don't think she was very written very terribly. Um, Definitely not acted terribly. Like that actress is fucking amazing, and really made me hate her so much. And I love that. I love when an actor or actress does that. Like I try to use actor for as a non-gendered specific term. Anyways, uh, yeah, fucking amazing uh, performance. But sort of like her arc, we see her start to like change her ways a little bit and like but it also feels like what she's doing because she's like sort of acting against her bigotry is sort of more of her sense of duty to the morals of the union than it is her actual choice and like that's what I sort of felt at the end when she died and then they had this big funeral and it just felt kind of hollow like we're giving this person who didn't learn their lesson a grand send off but the and also I think as far as actors go that's a great thing to do um for that but yeah so that's the Warner Max. I wish they would call it the Warner Max app. I get the HBO, like I get why they called it HBO Max in the first place. Like that's awesome. But if they really want to change that name, they don't want to go with the HBO branding. They want HBO to just be a tab. Go with the Warner brand. Don't go with Discovery. Nobody gives a fuck about Discovery.